stop telling me to go meet someone in the wild when I go in the wild and someone will be staring at me the whole entire night and won't come say hi? How many more times is that going to happen? How many more times am I going to be in the bar, playing pool, at the coffee shop, on a walk, and I will be staring down another person who is staring me down, smiling across the table, whatever, and you don't come say hi? Oh my gosh. What am I meant to do, you guys? Am I gonna have, like, we always have to make the first move or something? Because, like, oh my gosh.
The shock isn't that men are rejecting. It's which men are doing it now. The quiet, patient, good guys finally learned that tolerance isn't attraction. They watched, waited, improved, and opted out. Turns out decency doesn't mean desperation anymore.
Another thing I'll never understand about women is how and why they talk so much shit about another girl behind their back and proceed to still be friends with them. Like, the amount of girls I know that do this is uncountable. There's so many. And I don't know why. Like, if you don't like someone, why hang out with them? Why still associate yourself with them? Like, when guys don't like each other, we make it be known. We're like, I don't like you. And you stay far away from them. End of story. Like, that's just it. But with girls, like, you guys make it be known, like, I'm still your friend, but I'm going to talk so much shit behind your back. And it's like, why? Like, what is the purpose of it? Like, if you don't like someone, just move away from them. Like, it's so stupid. You're wasting so much time and energy on someone that you don't like, but you're pretending to like them. And for what?
For years, the good guys were told to wait their turn. Now that they've built lives, standards, and self-respect, the door is closed. The confusion comes from assuming patience equals availability. It never did.
I just had 5 grown-ass men walk by, grown-ass, able-bodied men, walk by as I struggle to, like, carry all of my shit and help this poor mother with 3 children carry her stroller down the stairs.
Well, contrary to what was written across that screen, I don't believe that there's anything at all wrong with most men. In fact, especially if a person pays attention to what some women post on social media, those gentlemen were doing exactly what a lot of those women have been asking men to do. Leave them alone. Don't approach them. And certainly don't talk to them. So why exactly would they be inclined to help some woman that they don't know, not knowing how exactly she's going to react to having those men approach her?
They just looked and kept walking. I'm literally, like, dropping my umbrella and everything. They just keep on walking.
And I cannot blame them for that, because they had no way of knowing how a strange woman would react to being approached by a strange man. Honestly, it's best that they just played it safe and kept their distance. But a lot of women really want to be treated as equals until they're treated the same way that a lot of men are.
The good guys didn't disappear. They just stopped explaining themselves. They learned rejection works both ways, and silence is cleaner than arguments. No speeches, no drama, just a quiet, no thanks. That's what growth looks like.
Men reject women all the time, and in fact, they reject women just as much as women reject men, or sometimes even more. And that's because it's not as outright or direct. When a woman rejects a man, it's usually pretty clear-cut, straightforward. But when a man rejects a woman, it's very subliminal, very indirect, and sometimes polite. And that's because they do this thing called soft rejection. A few things that a man will say when he's softly rejecting a woman is, I don't want a relationship right now. I'm not looking for anything serious. What he really means in a lot of cases is, I'm not looking for something serious with you. Why do you think that out of nowhere you'll see that man in 2 weeks after you guys stop talking commit to another woman? You wanted that commitment, but he never gave it to you. He gave it to another woman within a few weeks, within a couple of days, within a week even. And that's because he didn't want nothing serious with you. Another phrase that's associated with soft rejection is, let's just see where things go. I know you've heard that one before. What he really means is, I like the benefit of having you around. I like your company, but I don't want to commit to you. I'm not going to commit to you. That phrase is literally meant to buy him time so that he can continue to keep things casual with you. Eventually, if he knows that you want commitment, he will walk away. But as long as you accept that arrangement, he'll stick around and he'll get what he can. Another way that men softly reject women is when they tell them, you deserve better than me. What he really means is, I'm not willing to put in the sufficient amount of work that I know you're deserving of. That one sounds sweet, but don't let that shit fool you. He knows that you're a great catch, and instead of rising to your standards to give you what you deserve, he'll let you down gently, hoping that you will decrease your standards for him. When a man truly likes a woman, he steps it up. He does not push her away by telling her you deserve better. He becomes better so that he knows he deserves you. Y'all be careful now, because men reject women probably more than women reject men. But again, it's not as obvious because they do it very subtly. These are ways that men reject women.
What's really shocking is watching accountability enter the chat. Men who once settled are now selective and unapologetic. No rescue missions, no emotional labor, no sympathy swipes. Standards feel cruel when you're not used to them.
You left a man that provided you 80% of everything you need just to go searching for the 20% that you didn't have. You wound up finding the 20% only to realize you were missing the 80%. Grass isn't greener, sweetheart. Dissatisfaction, idolization, commitment issues, FOMO, lack of appreciation, relationship instability, poor communication, and self-sabotage. You did it to yourself. Now he's gone. He ain't ever coming back.
Good men didn't become heartless. They became realistic. They saw the patterns, did the math, and chose peace. The same behavior once rewarded is now filtered out. That's not bitterness. That's clarity.
The reason nice guys never get the girls is not because they're not nice. Women actually love a nice man. The reason is because they also, more often than not, are more passive, lack leadership, lack boundaries, and they're more likely to be people pleasers and forego their own needs, or even worse, the needs of their partner, to keep up that nice demeanor. They care more about harmony than truth, and all of this signals a lack of safety to a feminine woman. And it doesn't matter how nice a man is if she can't relax and feel safe with him. Feminine women aren't looking for just a nice guy. They're looking for a man who is a gentleman, yes, and has those kind qualities, but also is a warrior and a leader when it matters. Nice guys only finish last when they also lack the ability to be bold.
The where did all the good men go? Question has an easy answer. They went where respect wasn't optional and effort was mutual. Rejection feels harsher when it comes from the men you assumed were safe bets. Assumptions age badly.
There's like this huge problem that I've been noticing in the dating world. The good, respectful men, the men with boundaries, will not approach women because they're trying to respect their boundaries. And it is true that biologically speaking, women are far more attuned to subtleties, like body language subtleties, than men. So a lot of times, women will actually be giving off clues and cues that they want to be approached, but it's more of like they're trying to give off a vibe or something, and the man has no idea. What ends up happening is that it's the men with no boundaries, or that don't respect boundaries, or the narcissists or the creeps, that end up approaching the woman, and then the women in my life complain that it's only the creeps that approach them, when it's really we women need to be giving off way more intent.
Good men are no longer auditioning for approval. They've realized attraction isn't built on overgiving or over-explaining. When men stop chasing, reality hits differently. And yes, it's uncomfortable.
Good guys aren't going to want to hit on you in public, right? I know for me, like, I'll see girls at the gym and I'll be like, yeah, like, I'd love to talk to them or whatever, but I don't want to weird them out, so I don't go for it. I think, like, where we are in society, right? Guys, it's a lot easier. Obviously, we're just at a standpoint where we're bigger, we're stronger, we're scarier, period, right? So it's easy to scare women, but because of that, the good guys that have empathy aren't going to want to go up to you because they're going to scare you, at least in our minds, right? It's interesting because girls I see on comments will always be like, where have all the good men gone? And it's like, truth is they're still there. They're just not like wanting to talk to you out of fear of scaring you. I was having this conversation recently with, I think, my parents, and we were talking about how, like, in the old days, right, or, like, with grandparents, you'd hear, like, grandma would just be like, yeah, you know, I actually told grandpa that I didn't want to date him 7 times, and then he still kept going. And to us, it's like, oh, but, you know, they say that, and then they've been together for 50 years. So it's this weird thing. I don't know what the change is. People say Me Too all the time, and I think that's part of it, where it's now we're in a culture where it's, you know, highly emphasized to not bother women in that way, which is good, but it also leads to these things, but the dating pool is so much different now.
Good men don't approach like they used to, not because they're scared, because they've learned attention is valuable currency. Why invest where interest is conditional and respect is optional? Scarcity changes behavior fast.
Women always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question. What started out as a good thing, encouraging men to respect women, has swung way too far in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of men are terrified of women, so they wait for perfect conditions before making a move. But courage doesn't exist without risk, and women can't respect men who don't risk anything. So as a man, if you want to be seen as confident, you've got to be willing to look stupid, to get rejected, to be misunderstood. So start by taking small risks. Approach women when you're out and about. Initiate plans with them. You'd be surprised how fast it'll work, because women nowadays, they're not turned off by that kind of effort. They're starving for it.
The quiet shift no one wants to admit. Men learned restraint. They stopped leading with effort and started leading with discernment. That alone disqualifies a lot of situations. Silence isn't rejection, it's selection.
Wonder why high-value men are not approaching you? It's not because they don't exist. It's because women scared them all away. All I see on social media is men being canceled and scrutinized just for being men. We have literally embarrassed, belittled, and threatened men just for trying to approach us women. I understand there are some horror stories out there, but women can be just as guilty. All the high-value men are doing the same thing us women do on a daily basis. Like go to the gym, go to work, get coffee, go to the grocery store. The problem is that women have become so cold and out of touch with our feminine energy that men are literally horrified of being that guy or getting canceled and trashed on. Most of them have just completely backed off because we women have been screaming at them not to come talk to us. We have to take accountability for our action and behavior as women and stop making men look like monsters and start embodying our feminine energy to be more warm and inviting for the right man to swoop you off your feet.
Good men rejecting without remorse isn't cruelty, it's boundaries. They're no longer negotiating attraction or begging for interest. When men stop overgiving, the dating market panics. Funny how that works. That's all for today. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to press the notification bell so you get the latest updates from our channel.